The big sawmills rely on clear cutting to provide the volume of logs they need to stay in business. It's an industry built on speed and quantity. The advances in technology mean each year it takes fewer men to process the logs, and the lumber products it creates are largely board timber and pulp and paper. These are lower grade products, easy to make and easy to sell. Merv, on the other hand, doesn't have as many logs to work with, so he tries to get as much value as possible out of each one. The development of the portable sawmill allows him to do just that, selling custom-cut lumber direct to builders instead of raw logs to the big sawmills.
There's a tremendous opportunity here in this type of operation to upgrade your log. In other words, to make it more beneficial to everybody. Because you don't want to leave too much wood in the woods, you bring out a log that is quite crooked, quite twisty perhaps, and you bring it out in a longer length. Once it's out on the mill deck, you can then see what length that log can be cut into, which then converts that log from something that was only pulp grade up to something that is worth sawing. This builds in added value to your timber. By the time it has passed through the saw, it's already been upgraded perhaps 50 to 75% in value.
There's very little waste. The only material not used from this pile of logs will be a small mound of sawdust. Some of Merv's wood may end up here, at Sarita Furniture in Port Alberni. The company manufactures garden furniture out of western red cedar. It's another example of added value, taking the wood and turning it into a higher value product, in this case, garden furniture. Owner Keith Whiten says lumber that comes from selective logging operations is catching on in other parts of the world.
We have an established customer in Germany that we've been working with for the last 4 years, and he was approached by a major environmental group in Europe a year ago, and what they were looking for was a sustainable wood product from British Columbia. In response to the controversy in the Blackwood mainly, they wanted to use their product, their ecological product, as an alternative example from British Columbia. And they have a membership of 2 million members, and they have a consumer products division that they mail out their catalog from twice a year. So there's a huge potential for anyone who can produce that kind of a product and put it in that marketplace.
Change is slow, and the signs are small, but they can be seen. Companies such as Sarita Furniture are part of a growth industry, employing more people every year. The BC government has introduced new standards for clear cutting to reduce environmental damage, and it's now promoting a woodlot program it began back in the 1950s.